Hey everyone, this is Erica Lucas, and I'm actually getting ready to add Gabby and Chris Lucas to the show, and we're super excited to join you this afternoon to talk about demo day startups and early stage investment in our state and in our region. And so, yeah, we're excited. Today is demo day, where we officially introduce the companies to investors and the community, and we're super excited. Earlier in the day, we had a Zoom call with Amy Brooks, the President and Chief Innovation Officer, NBA, and it went extremely well. If you missed it, don't worry, you can still catch the video, the stream, on this address below. So you can still watch it and get to see what Amy had to say, the startups and investors in our community. But for now, Gabby, Chris, what do you guys think so far? It's not over yet, but what do you guys think?
It was an interesting experience. I mean, today was very different from the other 4 demo days that we've had, but not better, not worse, I don't think, but it was just different. I feel like, you can't top being in person and being in a crowd and the excitement and the energy, but this was the next best thing. So I'm pretty proud of the way it turned out.
I agree. I miss certain aspects of it. Hugging everyone. I always hug all of the founders and the people that are there to support them. And I feel like we didn't get to do that. So I do miss that part. And then, of course, I always miss happy hour and getting to see everyone network and stuff like that. Gabby, what did you miss?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, just being backstage before it all goes down, that like camaraderie you see, the little pep talk we always give. It is just very different. But like you said, it's not over. Still 72 hours left. So it's a lot longer this time.
That's great. I'm actually, thank you. Our friend Harold from Austin is joining us, and he's saying he is having a virtual drink, I'm guessing, since we're talking about happy hour. It's so good to see you, Harold. Thank you for joining us. Harold is an amazing investor, startup founder himself, and just a super champion for the startup community. If you don't follow Harold on Twitter, you should absolutely do that, because he always shares so much insight. He's always connecting people to other investors and others in the community. So definitely be sure to follow him on Twitter.
Don't mess with him on LinkedIn, though.
Oh, that's right.
All right.
That's right. That's right. All right. So our first guest today, we're actually going to have a series of guests with us tonight. We are going to have some of the founders from this current cohort, but then we're also going to invite investors in our community and mentors who spent countless hours helping these founders get in the best shape possible to do demo day and to talk to investors and or to grow through revenue, because we're not all about venture capital and capital infusion. We actually prefer to help founders figure out a way to grow through revenue. And if they need capital infusion, then great, we will help them do that as well. But we work with all types of startups. So the first startup we are going to introduce you and bring online, it's an amazing startup. They are the Made Possible team. There they are. Guys, why don't you give us your Twitter pitch?
Hi, yeah, I'm Tracy. I'm one of our co-founders, and Made Possible by makes giving easy for community-minded companies. We save them time with their sponsorship requests, and we provide the one permanent location to share all their stories of good.
And what do you think? Tell us what the process was. What did it feel like? What does it feel like building a company amidst COVID-19 and all the uncertainty?
Well, hi, I'm Mike. Building a company in general is a grinding love affair. So it's a lot of fun, but this has added a new wrinkle. But in many ways, it's just really catalyzed our team and allowed us to even focus all the more, because we were closer together. So we were social distancing properly, but in some ways we weren't as busy. In other ways, we were busier than ever.
Well, we had a blast. We had a blast working with you.
Tracy and Hetty are great.
You're not so bad.
So we're starting off with one of the most energetic teams. So I don't know how we're going to top that, but it's hard to be impossible by. Or impossible by.
What do you want to say to anyone watching about your startup? What you're hoping to accomplish? What's your ask?
No, well, I think I'm Hetty. I'm one of the co-founders. I think the one thing that we want is just connections, to be able to connect with people, to present this great product to people that we think can really utilize it to just continue to make a great difference in their communities and cities. So we just want to connect with folks and tell the story and how we can help them.
So how can they connect with you? What's your hashtag? What's your handle?
Hetty's our connector.
Yeah, so they can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Made Possible By, and LinkedIn at Made Possible By, and you go to our website, madepossibleby.us.
That's great. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure working with you guys. And if you want to see what these guys are up to and look at their pitch video, be sure to go to demodaystitchcrew.com, and that's where you can find all of the companies and watch their pitch video. Thank you guys so much.
Question before you leave. What is your go-to hype song? Made Possible By.
This is how we do it.
Going back to Cali.
Going back to Cali.
Yeah, we're having a discussion of what our song would be. So yeah.
I don't think
Tracy, give us a boom like you did on your video.
Oh.
I like it.
Take one.
Thank you guys. It's been so great working with you. We can't tell you how much we appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya. Thanks.
Great. And just for everybody that's watching, this is like our first live stream. So I'm like learning how to move all the screens. So I'm going to play around a little bit. And I also want to say hi to Jessica, who just commented and said, what are you drinking, Erica, Chris, and Gabby?
Water.
Water? We are staying hydrated, that's for sure, Jessica. But why don't you tell us what you're drinking, and then we'll share it with everybody that's watching. All right, so our next guest, Gabby, who do we have next? I lost my sheet.
Do we have the people from the Untitled Capital here? Are they on?
Let's see. I think they are. There we go. Hey, Michael. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. And it's been great. I watched the innovation gal from the NBA earlier, and she was wonderful.
Have you had the chance to look at all the 11 startups?
I've seen, I think, 8 of the pitches. I'm waiting for 3 more. Impressive group, and as you know, we like to kind of try and cherry pick a couple of each cohort to invest in. So we're watching closely and plan on keeping conversations going with a bunch of them.
Nice, nice. Michael, we're going to put you on the spot. Why don't you give us your Twitter pitch about Untitled Capital?
Yes, Untitled Capital is an early stage investment vehicle, as well as kind of economic development engine, meaning we do pre-seed, seed, and Series A investing, mainly pre-seed and seed. So our check sizes can range from $250,000 to as large as $3 million. And we're looking for companies. We can invest nationwide, but we're pretty focused on Tulsa. Our sole LP is a very Tulsa-oriented family foundation. And in addition to returns, we're looking at great jobs in Tulsa, hence the Tulsa focus. We invest in software companies, and we try and be very value add, and Atento means helpful. And so that is kind of our ethos.
Of course, I love the name because it's derived from Spanish. So
yes, my wife is Argentinian.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. And you recently had an investment. Woo-hoo.
Yes, we've recently had two Stitch Crew investments, Respond Flow and Televet.
Yay,
And
that's
so,
right.
The Televet one might not have been announced yet, but we participated in the Series A that I guess will be announced if it hasn't been. So maybe I shouldn't have said that, but very exciting. And Televet's also hired the former COO of Consumer Affairs here in Tulsa, Eric Jenkins, and Respond Flows is off to the races. We're very excited about both companies. Very wonderful.
Hey, Michael, let me ask you. So you are deploying capital. So in light of the past couple months, you guys are not sitting on the sidelines. You guys are actively deploying companies and
selectively.
Okay.
So the answer is the three questions we were asking ourselves on every new investment is, how does this company look in the post-COVID world? Why now versus 6 months from now? Because we think 6 months from now, things will be less expensive from a valuation perspective than now. And is there going to a significant Tulsa jobs component of it, which is a kind of our mission? And it has to fit two of those three. And so, if you think about Televet, it's actually had a huge uptick because of the coronavirus, because people want telemedicine for their animals. And so that's been great. And if you think about Respond Flow, it to a large extent, people text messaging is a place where you can reach people at least as much, even if not even more so, in the post-COVID world. And so these are both places where we think we're very excited about, even with COVID, and we're continuing to invest through COVID.
Awesome. That's great.
Gabby, what's your fun question for Michael?
Well, I think since we were talking about drinks, what is your go-to drink, Michael?
These days it's kombucha. But if I'm gonna have another drink on my birthday, June 28th next month. I'm taking 2 months off, but I think I'm a tequila rocks guy. Very boring, but very very nice and clean.
There's nothing boring about tequila.
Yeah, I agree.
But you don't shoot it. You sip on it, right?
I sip on a nice reposado on the rocks. Maybe a Casamigos reposado, and it's just perfect.
Nice. I love it. Michael, we love what you guys are doing. We love that you guys are investing in the startups. We love that you're super additive. You guys also act as mentors in our program and are super engaged. So I can't thank you enough for everything that we do. And for everyone that is tuning in, we actually have a podcast coming up with Michael. Yeah, we're going to talk more into detail about the investment thesis, why he moved from New York City to Tulsa, and why he's so passionate about Tulsa. So we'll get into all of that, but we can't be more grateful to you for everything that you're doing. Say hi to all of the team for us, and thank you for spending time with us today.
No, look, we're really grateful for you. You've changed the landscape for early stage companies in Oklahoma, truly. So thank you so much, and excited for the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
All right. So that was.
You're doing good.
Yeah. So far so good. You guys want to try another layout? How's that layout? Or this one? I don't like that one because I'm like too much of my face. I like that one.
There you go.
All right. So Gabby, who is next? We've had a startup. We had an investor. Who are we? Who's our next guest?
We're going back to batch 5, and are the ladies from Found on?
Yeah. Yes, they are. There's Vicky and there's Leah. Yay! I did it.
Hey. Hello. Hey, Vicky.
The virtual concierge of the future. Leah, Vicky, it's so great to see you. Why don't you give us your Twitter pitch?
Yeah, so we're Found Experience. We are a digital concierge for the hospitality industry. So vacation rentals, boutique hotels, anywhere that you can stay out of town. And we provide personalized services and where to eat, drink, shop, things to do for the guest. So it's no work on the team, on the guest services team, super simple, directly engaging with the guest, and all of their preferences are taken, and you understand a lot more about your guests when they leave, so that hopefully they'll come back.
Right.
That's great. We love what you guys are doing. We've been loving all of your virtual tours my personal favorite, let's see, which one was my personal favorite? It was the most recent one that you did on London.
Oh yeah, we had
Yeah.
a little bit of insider information on that one. So.
Oh yeah.
Nice. It was great. That was one of my favorite.
Yeah. New Orleans was fun. Paris
Oh yeah,
was
New
fun.
Orleans is always our personal favorite of ours. So
I think for Chris it was Italy, wasn't it, Chris? Because we
Yeah.
had pasta.
Yeah.
nice. That's awesome.
Hey, I want to ask the founder team, because you talk about pivot, and you know that's like the rite of passage for startups and entrepreneurs. But tell us how that felt. I mean, I know because you guys have really had to find a way to not reinvent yourself, but you definitely made a pivot, right?
Yeah, so it's been interesting because we started as a B2C company, directly doing trips for clients and organizing them. And so when we decided to go B2B late last year and sell directly to boutique hotels and vacation rentals and things like that, we were kind of taken away from that direct client experience. And so when we had to pivot due to COVID and look at how do we deliver what we love, the information that we think is important, and how we kind of think about the idea of place of a certain city. How does that feel? When we were able to do that online through the virtual vacations, it brought us back to that direct kind of traveler feedback. And so that was actually really great, being able to hear direct feedback from you guys, like you liked going to Italy and you had pasta, and the information that we've gotten from people who have actually like sat down and gone on the trips and ordered the food from certain locations and got to feedback to us that they loved it and they went on a date or their kids did something. It kind of made us think like, well, maybe we need to figure out a way to kind of engage the guest when we start going back to B2B a little bit more. So it's been fun.
Yeah.
You guys did a great job. I mean, you didn't skip a beat from what I could see. So you did awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. We love seeing your latest investor update that had all of the progress that you made in the last 3 months, even regardless of the situation, and how you're actually helping local businesses and restaurants, and just everything that you stand for. We absolutely love, and we consider ourselves lucky to have had the opportunity to work with you. Leah, you're originally from Oklahoma City.
I am. Yeah, I'm from Edmond.
Oh, from Edmond. Yay.
Yeah.
Edmond. And both of you actually worked with like diplomats before in helping them get really luxury travel, I'm sure, very, very nice travel experiences. So that's kind of what led you to this, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, we definitely learned a lot from our old lives, and I think we found a way to weave that together perfectly with the ethos of Found. So,
well, again, we love what you guys are doing. We believe in it so much. I think it's going to be super needed as we move forward and we look at how to travel smart. And you guys are going to be providing that experience. So we can't wait to follow your journey. Gabby, what's your fun question for Leah and Vicky?
All right. So in the movie about yourselves, who would play Leah and Vicky?
ooh,
I would actually hope Tina Fey would play me.
Nice.
I would go with Tina Fey.
I would say
Little
Zoe
boy humor,
Kravitz.
Oh, Zoe Kravitz would be good for you.
Yeah.
Ooh,
All right.
awesome.
I can't wait to watch the movie.
Now you see why we love Leah and Vicky. Well, girls, thank you so much. What is your ask of people as they watch your pitch video? What are you asking?
Yeah, so first ask would be, don't discount any travel company, even though we're in the middle of a pandemic, because as we know, a lot of really great companies are built when the times are really, really tough. So pay attention to that and give everyone the benefit of the doubt. But our main ask is we really need connections, and nothing's better than a warm connection when you're doing business development to vacation rental properties, boutique hotels, nationwide hotels that want to change things up a bit, and really just anyone that can help further what we're trying to do when we make travel smarter.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be watching your journey, and I'm sure we'll be connecting you to people that are already requesting meetings with you guys. So stay tuned, and thank you for joining us.
Your handles? Are you on Instagram, Twitter, all of them?
Yes, our Instagram handle is experience is found.
Nice.
Nice.
Awesome.
There's some good wanderlust photos on there too, so
Yeah.
take a look. But yeah, thank you guys so much. It's been such a pleasure to be in Batch 5, working with you guys, having the connection to Oklahoma, and cannot wait to see you. And we'll go have a drink at what we were going to do tonight, which was go to Bar Arbolada. But we will meet you there and buy you a drink for all of the wonderful things you guys have done. So thank you so much. It's been an honor.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
We'll pin that drink for later.
Sounds good.
That sounds great.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, wait. Farhash, look, I didn't mean to bring you on, but here you are.
I was tearing up a little bit after hearing, Vicky and Leah.
Oh, they're awesome, aren't they?
Yeah, I love them.
Farhaj, you even combed your hair all nice for this. I love it.
Yeah, look at that. I just got a mullet. Fresh.
Nice.
Yeah, we got Steve, our VP of Operations, was our in-house barber, so we
Nice.
got the fix.
Nice.
Could have used some app called Fade at this moment, but I don't know what happened to that company.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Well, Far, I brought you on accidentally, so I feel like I have to do a proper introduction. So bear with me. So for everyone that it's listening or is tuning in, so Farhash is one of the founders from our previous cohort, Batch 4. And I'll let him introduce his company and give us his Twitter pitch. But we love Far. He has been an incredible mentor. After he graduated, he didn't waste a second mentoring future founders, looking at their decks. He's a deck freak. He loves to look at decks and tear them apart and help them rebuild. So we're super excited to have you, buddy. We can't wait to hear an update on where your company is. But before we do that, why don't you give us your Twitter pitch?
Yeah, Canna is building a people operations platform for the legal cannabis industry. Employers use their platform to hire better talent faster, and then workers use their platform to learn new skills and find jobs for the first time.
Nice.
Not bad, huh?
I know. So tell us from when you graduated, which I guess was last fall,
Yeah.
to now, what does the company look like? What's been the progress?
Wow, we grew in size. We're double the team size. We raised some funding halfway through our round and hopefully get to close here pretty soon. Make sure I could reveal that. But I think one of the most exciting things is that we've actually started to gain a lot of organic traction here in Oklahoma. We've built a brand that employers trust and have heard of somehow. In the short amount, like we started the company 6 or 7 months ago, and finally we have recurring paying customers who are now signing annual contracts. So it's been great. I think like one of the coolest things to see is, we launched Canna University, which is an online training platform for workers, and the adoption has been wild. So, fingers crossed we can get a lot of people back to work and make some of these Canna business owners really happy.
Nice.
Yeah, not bad. We're doing good. Oh, also we officially moved to OKC. That's a big W. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're delighted to have you. You've been great. Tell us what your message is for the companies that just graduated, but also the investors or the community in general that's taken a peek at these companies.
Don't underestimate Midwest startups. We're awesome. We have very strong P&Ls. We focus on revenue and we build out really strategic distribution plans. Every deck that I've reviewed, every founder that I talk to, we're as incentivized as any Silicon Valley founder that you can think of. And mark my word for it, but everyone here is going to become very sophisticated founders over the next 6 months. They're going to learn what are the incentives of venture capital funds. They're going to build companies that really achieve scale. So, my best recommendation to investors is get in while you can and get in on that good valuation. Great companies with a lot of promise. So it'll be sad if you missed that and you look at it later.
100%. Right, we have a message, another message from Harold. He said he is a proud investor in Canna. So Harold did invest in your company. How is Harold an investor?
Amazing. What's funny is what he tweeted is exactly what he does. Anytime I needed an introduction, he amplifies it to his network, you know, and he has like a 1-2 degree separation from everybody that I need to meet somehow, you know, and I think that's Harold's superpower. Also, it's funny is, you know, outside of our updates and anytime I have an ask, you know, he doesn't really dive really deep, or it's great. We have a great relationship. You know, I think not only is he an investor, but he's also a great friend. So I really enjoyed it. And then the other thing is, like, for companies that I think are really promising, you know, he's always willing to lend a helping hand, listen out, and see maybe if they're a fit for him to angel invest in too. By the way, I actually got a deal I need to send to your inbox, Harold. It's a really awesome POC founder.
Hey, wait until he actually takes a look at our companies for
Okay, yeah.
And then you can pitch him on others.
Well, we'll get this company into the next cohort, right?
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So, Gabby, or Chris, what questions do you guys have?
Tabitha, hey. I just saw her.
So, I'm trying to channel my best Tim Ferriss question, and I'm really drawing a blank. But I'll go with this one.
Yeah.
If you had to put something on a billboard, a quote, a saying, a motto, advice to an entrepreneur, but you could just put it on one billboard, what would you say?
Something that Z told me not too long ago: say less, mean more. Yeah, that's stuck in my head.
Good answer.
Yeah. No, but
like,
you know, like mastering that is so hard.
So he's listening too. So he just heard that you quoted him. So that's great. Also, we want to say hi to Tabitha, who just joined us as well. Tabitha.
Need to get some of that Good Girl chocolate, TBH.
Yeah, the best.
Yeah. All right. Well, Gabby, what is your fun question for Far?
All right, my fun question, since we were talking about the mullet earlier, bring back the mullet. What other fashion trend would you bring back?
Ooh. That's hard.
I'm scared of what you're going
to Cowboy bet now. I don't know, high tops, you know? I feel like outside of like Jordans, like I love Jordan 1s, but not a lot of people wear like high tops anymore. I think it'd be a really funky fashion trend to bring back. Z just said jorts. I don't know about that. Maybe.
I don't even know what that is. What are jorts?
Jean shorts. What's funny is back when we went to college, and Z and his buddies actually started it at our college, we had this tradition where, you know, midday or whatever for the fraternity, we'd wear jean shorts with like cowboy boots, you know, knee and leg extremely exposed. Very Texan tradition.
Nice.
If Z has jorts on, next time I see him, I'm gonna give him $100.
You'll be surprised. He'll show up. Wow.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, Far. Thank you for championing the founders. Thank you for being a great alumni. You're always connecting people as well, and promoting the next batches and even previous founders. We love that you have a super big heart, and we know that it always comes back to you. So thank you so much for everything that you do.
Absolutely. Y'all are so underappreciated. Also, you know, I just don't see a reason why everybody can't win. So we'll do that.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye. So I'm not clicking, guys, until Far clicks, so that I don't. And Gabby, who's next in our queue?
Right. Next up is another Batch 5 founder, Aaron, with a draft badge.
Okay.
Hi.
Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Happy demo day.
Yes, it is. Very happy day.
How does it feel to just get it out there? You put your video out there. People hopefully are requesting meetings. How do you feel?
I feel so relieved, honestly. I mean, the last few weeks has been pretty stressful, but seeing it all kind of come to an end right here is very rewarding. So very excited.
Good. Tell us your Twitter pitch.
Yeah, so Draft Badge is a mobile ID solution for beverage-focused venues like bars and sports stadiums that helps monitor and control alcohol transactions.
Great. Harold says, I'm really interested in what Aaron is doing.
Thank you, Harold.
So we'll make sure that we connect you guys there. But tell us a little bit about that. I mean, that's a big deal, right? Mobile IDs. I know Oklahoma just I don't know what we call it, accepted it or enacted it. But why is a mobile ID necessary for the industry that you're going after?
Definitely. It's an interesting story. I mean, we started this whole process from a completely different angle, which was the efficiency angle. We wanted to get drinks faster. But once we did our research, we figured out that there was a huge liability component in there. And I think, mobile ID has been growing. I mean, you have Apple Wallet, Samsung Pay, all those technologies that are getting really big adoption now. And I think mobile ID is the next logical step. And especially given the current situation with the pandemic and everything needing to be contactless and more streamlined moving forward, I think there's a really good opportunity for solutions like ours and others in this industry.
Nice. Chris, what is your Tim Ferriss question for Aaron?
What's your Aaron? What's your biggest go-to hack tool, technology hack, tool hack, platform, software, whatever? What's your go-to?
That's a good one. Actually, recently I just found this one. Someone posted about it on the Stitch Crew network. Actually, it's called Notion.
Yeah.
Super powerful tool. I just started using it this week, and already I think it's going to be extremely good. I mean, it scales really well and it's free, so that's always a plus for the startups. But it has a lot of really awesome implementations and other kinds of tools that you can use for all kinds of different businesses too, and even in your personal life. So maybe I can get a little more organized there too.
Cool. No, Notion sounds cool. It just kind of popped on our radar. I think I probably saw it the same time you saw it, so I'm looking into it as well. So we'll see.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
And just to remind everyone, if you want to look at Draft Batch pitch, you can go to demodaystitchcrew.com and look at all of the companies. And of course, Draft Batch is actually at the very top because alphabetically you come first. So, Gabby, what is your fun question for Aaron?
All right, so we're talking about productivity hacks and things like that. If you had an in-person personal assistant, what would you have them take off your plate?
Honestly, it would be taking my dogs outside. I live on a 3rd floor apartment. I have a 1-year-old puppy right now, and he likes to take advantage of that. So he likes to go outside all the time, which gets in the middle of me doing things. But I love him anyways, and that's not a big issue, but that would probably be the first thing on my plate.
Nice. Well, we're so lucky to have had the pleasure of working with you, Aaron. We can't wait to watch your journey as you continue to grow and scale and build. We're here for whatever you need, and I'm sure we'll be making lots of introductions here soon.
Where can people find you, Aaron?
Huh?
Yeah. So they can go to our website, draftbadge.com, and every social, it's at draftbadge. So Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Angels List, everything. And thank you guys, honestly, for everything. I think when I started this whole process, I wasn't even sure with myself if this was a company. And through the last 3 months, I mean, the progress that we've been able to do, the people that we've been able to meet has just been incredible. So thank you guys so much for everything that you've put into all this.
We appreciate you, and we consider ourselves lucky to have had the opportunity to work with you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right, Gabby, who's next? Is Matt next?
Yeah, Matt, are you on?
Yep, Matt's here.
Am I on? Yeah.
Matt is one of our most favorite mentors who we can always count on to meet with all of our founders and not only help them with terms and legalities, but also even just to go have a drink to cry it out when it's needed. Right, Matt?
Yeah. There's not been a lot of crying on my shoulder yet, but I mean, we can add that to the list. I mean, certainly can.
That's right.
And Matt's a busy guy. I'm surprised we could carve out some time to even get him on here. He's got so much going on. I'm happy to see him.
Yeah, well, Chris, we do need to grab drinks soon, but yeah, no, I'm happy to be on. This is fun.
Awesome.
Actually, we have somebody online, Dia. Hi, Dia. Thank you for watching. And she says, Matt is great. So we're putting that out there. You have a lot of
slightly above average at best. So
you have a lot of fans, man. We appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah.
So why don't you give us your Twitter pitch and kind of how long you've been working with our accelerator and founders?
Yeah, I am a lawyer for entrepreneurs. So I've been working with Launchpad, Stitch Crew. I don't know, like how long this has been since day one. So is that 3 years, 3.5, 4?
2 years, 2.5 years.
No, it seems longer than that. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. So
you did actually help us even before we launched it. So.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So we'll just round it to 3. Yeah, it's been great. I'm a lawyer for entrepreneurs. That's my official job title. But I mean, I view myself as more of like an advisor to startups and founders, number 1, lawyer, number 2. So I love the energy of the ecosystem, love being involved in all these big dreams and what's coming out of Oklahoma City, in Tulsa and just Oklahoma in general. And it's been a fun ride. So I've been doing this about 7 or 8 years now, and been asked if I want to move to more like startup, the quote startup friendly cities like Austin and Nashville and even like Boulder and that sort of thing. And I can say that we're committed to Oklahoma City and want to make this ecosystem thrive. So.
Well, we are so lucky to have you. I think that the community is lucky to have you. And we're grateful you've decided to stay. So my question to you is, you've probably met with all companies that went through the last cohort. How did you experience going virtual? Because before, since you've been with us at the beginning, it was very personal. We went into the office, into the Thunder Launchpad. You met with all the companies, but this time we had to do everything virtually. So what did you like and what did you dislike?
All right, so this is going to be the most anticlimactic answer in the history of Demo Day. So 95% of my communication is via email, so it wasn't much different. So it really wasn't. Luckily, my space I share with other entrepreneurs, right, in the Tower Theater in Oklahoma City. So we've been curating some little group get-togethers in a responsible way, and it's been good. I have Zoom fatigue. We've done webinars and all this stuff for the last 2 months. It's been good, but I'm just ready to rub shoulders and shake hands, hug people, whatever. I'm ready for the humanness of this all to get back together. So
I agree. I can't wait till it's safe to start hugging people. I'm a hugger, so
yeah.
I miss that a lot.
Well, I was in a meeting today, and 2 guys hugged, and I mean everyone just kind of froze, and it was like a really weird thing. Everyone was like, I don't know if you're supposed to be doing that yet, but it was good to see. I mean, it was healthy to see.
Yeah.
I read an article today. Zoom fatigue is a real deal. It's a scientifically proven thing that it's wearing on people. But I have a ton of respect for you, Matt, because not only are you just an exceptional attorney, but you're also an entrepreneur. You have your own businesses. So what keeps you up more at night? You're just the companies that you started, or your law practice?
Yeah, that's a good question, Chris. Honestly, okay, so the law practice is just kind of rolling. I mean, everyone needs legal services. So that thing is like the snowball has happened on that. With the other ventures, I think that probably keeps me up a little bit more because I'm just like any startup founder. I have pretty much a new idea every day that I want to pursue. So it's just a matter of, and back to your like Tim Ferriss quotes and bringing those in. I think that I'm learning gradually how to say no to good things in order to pursue the great things. So
that's great.
It's fun though. I mean, I think it's important to just in Oklahoma City and Tulsa, I'm seeing this a lot. Just developing a team around you to help you to leverage the ability to pursue opportunities that maybe even like 4 or maybe even 3 to 4 to 5 years ago we just didn't have that ability to do. But I think we're going to start seeing a lot more serial entrepreneurship and a lot more founders doing multiple businesses. So
I agree.
And you're getting a lot of love, Matt. Tabitha is also on, and she says Matt is the best of the best.
well, thanks, Tabitha. My address, I'll give you my address for those chocolates, by the way. Like, as long as they're vegan and dark chocolate, then send them my way. We'll talk after this. So,
Right.
Nice.
For those of you listening, Tabitha is the founder from Batch 4 of Good Girl Chocolates. Her chocolates have been featured, I love saying this, at the Grammys and the Oscars, and she has a lot of love from all different type of celebrities, but we love her the most. So
and Tabitha has, if there's any investors out there, Tabitha, I don't want to speak for you, but if you're looking for investment, I'm just going to plug you real quick. Tabitha's got this vibe about her that I think that that investors, like, it's a good, you got some good business acumen, and I think that that's one of the good startups of the Thunder Launchpad. So
that's right. That's right. Well, Matt, before Gabby asks you your fun question, I do want to tell you, we did tell all the founders that once it was safe to do so for us to get together, we're going to bring all of the founders from Batch 5, take them to the Chesapeake Arena, give them the Oklahoma welcome, and we're definitely going to take them by your place, Social Capital, and grab a few beers and drinks, and we'll just have a lot of fun.
That'd be fun. We'll reserve the rooftop, and we'll just make it just an incredible, like, founder, entrepreneur, investor, startup ecosystem experience. So.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you again so much. Before we leave, Gabby, to ask you her fun question.
All right, fun question, a little bit off topic, but if you could eat anything, one thing for the rest of your life, besides Good Girl chocolate.
Right. Gosh, I mean, that's a tough one. I think I tell my wife this probably 2 or 3 times a week, like hinting, like, hey, we need to, like, make this dinner. Like tacos. I mean, any sort of tacos would be they're so versatile, and it's just I could literally eat tacos almost every meal. So
I agree. Just please don't. I don't know if you've been following on Twitter the I don't even know what that pasta is that people are making tacos of that pasta. What's that pasta that you?
I have not heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing. Stay out of Twitter and just stick to original taco.
Right. Well, hey guys, thank you. I mean, this demo day has gone awesome so far. So I'm excited for what you guys are doing.
Thank you. Thank you. We actually had so many RSVPs. I hope the website doesn't crash. We had double the size that we've had in the pre. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Gabby, who do we have?
All right, back to Batch 5, and we are going with Sam with Vendor.
Sam!
Hi.
Hey, what's happening?
There he is.
Sam, how are you, buddy?
You know, I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
How does it feel to know that your pitch is out there and you're done? How do you feel?
I feel good. Feels like opportunity.
Yes. Why don't you give us your Twitter pitch?
Yeah, Vendor is a mobile app that connects local food artisans direct to consumer and handles all the payment and last mile delivery. You can think about it like Etsy meets Uber Eats for hyperlocal food. Nice.
You have a fan already. So Jessica Leatherbury just commented and says, he's cute and I love what he's doing.
Well, I appreciate it, Jessica. Thank you very much.
Jessica, you're not the only one. I'm just going to put you on the spot, Sam. But recently, Sam in Austin got invited to participate in some sort of like reality dating TV show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pandemic love.
Listen, we don't have to talk about that. We'll Google it and figure it out. But did you find love? I mean, that is the question.
Hey, my first love is Vendor, one and always.
Good answer.
Good answer for investors that are listening. Chris, what questions do you have for Sam?
Sam, you're a one man show. It seems like most of the time. Every time when we talk to you, you're out. You're delivering. You're doing the numbers. You're doing the accounting. You're doing everything. How does that feel? I mean, I guess it's not really a Tim Ferriss question as much as, man, tell us what it's like to be, running the show without an extensive team behind you, which most entrepreneurs, the founders, don't have a big team. So, how you dealing with that?
It's just life for me right now. I wake up and it's all I do. This is all I do. I don't have anything else. So there's no girlfriend. There's no side job. It's literally vendor is life. I am here in it every day. So it's really what I've learned is more about how do you manage it and how you organize your life to be able to do all the tasks that need to be done in an efficient way. And I do that a lot by time blocking. And so I know that in the morning I can get up and I have, 30 minutes to do this, an hour to do this. And it makes it super efficient. And then I use certain programs like drip campaigns where it allows me to maximize my time by having an automatic email follow up instead of having to do it personally, right? But I also I do have a couple other drivers. I do have interns working for me as well. So I'm not doing 100% of everything, but hey, it's just what you got to do. There's no complaints here. None. Yep. I love it.
You're hustling. That's what you do.
Yep. And Z.
That's it. That's what I was born to do.
Z, who's tuning in, says, I respect the hustle. And then
Thanks.
Also Farhaj says that he agrees that you're very cute.
Yeah. I'm not as cute as Farhaj with that mullet.
And then Tabitha says, as soon as you mentioned food, she became a fan. So there you go.
Awesome.
Lots of fans.
Yeah.
So,
if I can give a little tip for Gabby, you had once mentioned what kind of software you use, right, that you like, or what entrepreneurs or what software I most like or hack tool that I like right now. And right, it's hunter.io. Right. In my job, it's all about networking, finding connections. Who am I going to contact? Who's going to be able to help me? How can I help them? And what Hunter does is allows you to scrape the website for websites or for email addresses. So you can make that connection. You can make that cold email. And Hunter's going to hunt. So if you're a hunter, you got to use it. And they're not paying me. Good.
Sam, so you basically help farmers, but you also help. You've recently worked with a famous chef that loves vendor, and he tweets about you all the time. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so with the farms, the ranches. So I work with farmers, ranchers, bakers, restaurants, wholesale distributors that got absolutely messed up with COVID and pivoted direct to consumer. Farmers markets using us as a service because, with COVID, lots of people stopped going to farmers markets, so they needed a way to be able to have their sellers reach customers from their home while they're quarantined, and we're here to help them. As far as Anthony goes, he's just an incredible guy. I got very lucky that he even responded. I just sent him a direct message via Instagram, and because why not, right? Shooter's going to shoot, and he responded.
That's great. And Harold just said he's a big fan of Vendor, and that's his go-to for fresh produce, and he also loves it because he knows that he's supporting local folks. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the problem that you're solving in terms of, we know some of the traditional food delivery companies, but what a lot of people may not know is how much they actually charge and how much revenue they take away from the people that you're trying to help. So why don't you talk to us about that? And also, I want everybody to know your thesis of the people that you're trying to help also owning Vendor.
Yeah, so the first part of that is, if you look at Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, the way they make their money is on both sides of the market, but they charge their sellers 20 to 30%. They just price gouge them, which is ridiculous. I know a lot of them that have actually, when they use them, they actually lose money. And we just onboarded a new seller today, this morning, Quality Seafood. And they have refused to use any other platform because of the cost. But when they heard about us, they immediately hopped on a phone call and was like, I need to get in on it. So what we do is we just support local. This thing was built by my neighbors. So why charge the people that are making the food and doing the most effort when what we do is make a connection and just do the delivery and handoff, right? And as far as, what my thoughts and thesis is on how people can own it, we launched an equity crowdfund campaign. I think the food system really should be owned by the people. And I mean us as a society should own our own food system. It's been too long that it's been owned by too many people or by too small a group of people, large conglomerates that own a lot of smaller ones, when really it's everyday people like you and me that really do create this food system. It's the local small producer 20 miles away that's having fresh pork grown, or they're producing fresh pork or fresh beef. They've got, small farms 5 miles away. There's a lot of urban farms in the United States. And that's, either 5 acres or less. They're producing massive amounts of food. They should be the ones owning it. They're the ones that are supporting our local food system, right? You can look at it over the last 8 weeks. We've watched how COVID has just broken the supply chain. Even Tyson has said it out in public that our food system's in jeopardy right now. You know who's skyrocketing? Local producers. They're the ones that are flourishing right now, but they just happen to be in a fragmented market until they get on vendor.
So just real quick, Harold.
That's true. Thanks.
Harold, who is a big proponent of equity crowdfunding, says 357 backed vendor last year via WeFunder. That's true, and you just have a lot of love. Jessica also did the preach hands when you were talking about local producers owning it. And then Dia, who is actually in rural Oklahoma, also it's tagging her and Ada Farmers Market to use vendor. And I know that you have plans to come into Oklahoma. So why don't you tell us about that? And then I'll turn it over to Gabby and Chris.
Yeah, we do have plans to enter Oklahoma, and I'd love to partner with that farmers market. Specifically with farmers markets, we actually do a revenue share with them because we want to be able to provide them some sort of income from using our service. That way they can bring in more vendors. Farmers markets don't make a lot of money, right? And if there's any way that we can help them by not only providing their vendors with another revenue stream and access to more customers, it's by bringing in the market itself a little bit of help through profit. And whatever way we can do that, we will.
100%.
And if there's one out there that's got convenience stores or supermarkets or property management companies, I'd love to talk to y'all.
If you want to think about big ideas and the big ideas that Sam has, not just for where he's starting with vendor, but where he wants to go with the whole food distribution system, make sure that you're going to our website, demodaystitchgrew.com, and check out his pitch, because you definitely have big ideas, big ambitions for where you want to take vendor. So Chris, Gabby, do you guys have?
Gabby?
All right, so my question for you, Sam, during our Zoom calls each week, I would see you over there cooking your meal, sometimes going out in the garden, picking stuff. So what is your favorite meal to cook?
That was kind of like a wow.
Okay, I'll tell you one that I've been at. Yeah, I mean, because, okay, so here's one that I've been on a kick lately. So there's this fresh pork from Coleto Creek Ranch, and it's like an inch and a half thick. You're talking about this wide. That sucker probably weighs 3/4 pound. I like to sear that on a cast iron, right, with a little roasted veg medley that you throw in the oven, a little olive oil over the top, crack a little salt and pepper, add a little fresh garlic, right? Let that roast about 40 minutes, right? 350, 375. Then you get that pork chop on that cast iron, sear it up, get it all crispy on the outside using butter and not olive oil. And then I've got some fig jam that I bought from a neighbor of mine who's in her 70s, and it's all homemade. And I take that, and as I flip it onto the last, you take that pork. I only flip pork twice. I only flip meat once. Sorry. Cook, flip, cook. And then I put the fig jam on top, and I cover it with a little glass cover, right? And what it does is it reduces that fig jam into the pork. So you get that sweet, savory with the roasted veg medley. You then pair that with phyllo dough, which you can get at the grocery store, which is just puff pastry sheets, about $5. Slice that sucker into 3 sheets, then slice them into squares, and then you fill those with fresh blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, whatever you like, and you fold it into a nice like little wonton, and then you bake it. And as it bakes, it opens and almost blossoms into this pastry of deliciousness that you then top with whipped cream.
I think Farhas just said there's a masterclass going on right now.
Yeah, I think that, Gordon Ramsay. Bring it.
I thought we were going to have to get the Barry White music going on there for a minute, the way you were describing everything.
Never gonna give you up.
Well, thank you again so much, Sam. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you. Your passion for helping others, for food, for just building your community, I just admire you so much, and I know Gabby and Chris feel the same way, and it's been a pleasure, so we can't wait to follow your journey and connect you to a lot of people.
I appreciate that, and it's been an absolute honor to be a part of this. I mean, you guys have helped me beyond what you may know, and for any investors or sponsors out there, I've been through several accelerators, and they don't touch anything on this one. These guys have been there when I've needed them, when I've had to call them, when I've had, troubles with an internal team. All sorts of things. These guys have been here, they've helped out, and they'll make connections when they say they make connections. Where a lot of the other ones I've been in, it's a lot of talk and not a lot of action. And you can't have that as an entrepreneur, especially in an early stage, right? You need the help. So if you're an investor or sponsor them, and then just thank you. It's been really has been life-changing.
Thank you so much, Sam. We really appreciate it. Everything you said. We didn't pay you. We didn't pay Sam to say that. So thank you so much, Sam.
Bye.
Thanks, Sam.
Bye. All right, Gabby, who do we have next?
We have, before we go on to the next one, I think you can find Vendor on Instagram, Facebook as well. So Vendor app. All right, so next we have another Batch 5 founder. We have Ryan with Quest to Learn.
What's up, Ryan?
Hello. That's a hard act to follow.
Yeah.
I almost dropped off of the live stream when he said he flipped it twice. I was like, oh, I'm done. He corrected himself, so I'm still here. We're good.
Yeah, nice.
You're gonna bring it because you're our EdTech founder.
Absolutely.
On this. Tell us, what are you building? Give us your Twitter pitch.
Oh, goodness. So Quest to Learn is an online platform that helps connect app developers to schools. So essentially what we do is we take the curriculum that already exists in your school, whether you add it with a student, teacher, or pull it from your LMS. We translate that through our platform, and it is delivered directly into an app developer's game. So, your students can log into any one of the games in our library, and they're getting their own homework fed to them, through events in the game. So for example, if it was a live Jeopardy quiz game, it would be their own homework, or it could be something that triggers an event. But at the end of the day, it's just a fancy way to trick kids into having fun studying.
That's great. Super important, particularly right now as we're distance learning. So tell us about your journey. What does it look like 3 years when you started the program to now? And what message do you have for people looking at your video pitch right now?
Oh, good question. Well, first of all, 3 years, I think that was a Freudian slip because it feels like it, right? And at the same time, it was just yesterday. For me, starting any journey with a company, you first you want to validate, is this thing meaningful? I have an idea, I have a vision. Do other people see that vision? So, step one of getting to the program was, I felt that y'all know business. You've seen a lot more businesses than I did. And so it was extremely validating, number one. Just humbled to be in the program. It was fantastic to get just a really good baseline for starting a business. You know, all the things that I knew that I needed and didn't know how to do, and the things that I didn't know that I didn't know, but now I realize why they're important. That's been fantastic, you know, to kind of get me out of my comfort zone, which is building applications. So it's been fantastic, and the progress that we've seen over the last couple of months is just absolutely great. I'll echo everything that anybody else has said on the stream and more. I wish I could talk about it for 5 minutes, but I know that you'd be mad at me if I did that.
So and you have a lot of fans too. There's Jan, who said,
right.
"Oh, Ryan." Chris, what questions do you have for Ryan?
So Ryan, I'm melting out here. Let me adjust. Bear with me. Ryan, I know that over the past couple of weeks, the last 12 weeks, you've been working your business. You've been through the accelerator. You've been working. You have a job. You've moved.
Yes.
What are you doing to keep your sanity? Because you're doing all the most stressful things by definition a person can do. So what do you do to maintain that balance and keep your head straight?
I think the most important thing is the why you're doing it. You know, if you're just doing stuff and it's not meaningful to you, it really doesn't matter. And when the going gets tough, it's tough. So, you know, I started this business to solve a problem that was meaningful to me. It wasn't the domain that I worked in. I have a history in healthcare and government, not in education. And so it's, you know, running that down and seeking that problem out, and just doing something that you're passionate about. Like, you have to have the passion, you have to have the discipline. And the second piece of it is really just getting it done. You know, if you kind of go into things half-heartedly and don't finish them, then the struggle isn't worth it. But kind of reaching that finish line and looking back at it and saying, okay, there it is, you know, it's extremely rewarding.
Yep. Well, keep your head down, man, and keep moving on. I know you're dedicated to this. I've had a lot of conversations with you for the last 12 weeks. I've been on your mock board, and so I mean, you're the real deal. I know you're going to solve this. And I know you're gonna make it happen. So, man, I'm excited to watch how things unfold for you.
Me too. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And we love the shirt too, and we love the little.
Thank you. I hired this out to my daughter. If I notice other co-founders aren't wearing awesome, you know, cool custom made shirts, so hit me up. You know how to find me.
Sounds good. What's your fun question for Ryan?
All right, fun question. We're talking about ed tech. If you had to teach a class on one thing, what would it be?
Oh goodness, I wish you had sent me that ahead of time.
No.
I think part of the problem is, so as a software architect and just something that I've done my entire life, it's incredible to me how many soft skills outside of doing the job are important. You know, most people in my vocation are quite frankly nerds, and I was a nerd, and I'm still a nerd. At a certain point, you have to kind of get out of that shell, and so I did that accidentally through my journey, and now the problem's getting me to shut up. But just listening to people, you know, whether it's starting a business, it's not about me pushing my solution onto you. It's about listening to your problem, and it's the same way in any industry, really. It's just good communication skills, understanding what other people care about, like those types of soft skills. I feel like are sorely lacking in a lot of industries.
Listening is something we definitely all need to do more of.
That's right. And Jessica Leatherbury just said, that's right, I married a nerd. They're the best.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure your wife.
It's coming back into fashion for sure.
That's good. Well, listen, Ryan, it's been great working with you. Your passion for education and helping families and teachers, it's amazing. And we can't wait to follow your journey and see where it takes you.
Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing it myself. Thank you.
What platform can people find you on?
Oh, you can check me out at quest2learn.win. I'm on LinkedIn because I'm not hip on the social media. I've got a marketing director coming in, so that should get a little bit better. But while you're asking that question, I'll just say I'm in a complex industry. So if you're a teacher, if you're a school administrator, if you're a parent, if you're a game developer that's looking to integrate, my company is an integrator, so you'd be surprised at how many different ways. If you're a learning management system company, contact me. But either quest2learn.win, check me out on demodaystitchcrew.com, and we'll see you later.
Thank you so much, Ryan.
Thanks so much.
We've had great guests. Make it easy. Who do we have next? Is it another founder from previous founder mentor, Greg?
Yeah, we have an alumni coming up from batch 1 from the very beginning, Greg.
Okay. Before we bring him in, let's talk about this one because
I'm biased. I feel like I should excuse myself from this conversation because I'm very biased. This is my guy.
A brief history on Greg. He was in our inaugural batch when we didn't know what the heck we were doing because we were also a startup, just kind of figuring things out and curriculum. And I don't like to say curriculum, but content that we were going to produce and who we're going to be bringing in. And this founder applied with an idea. He didn't even have a fully baked idea, but he came in with an idea, and it is hard not to fall in love with him. So just by saying that, I think everybody knows who we're talking about. So welcome, Greg.
There he is.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Turn it up a little bit, but we can't hear you.
Okay. Well, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, and thanks for that great introduction. I mean, yeah, I had such a blast in being a part of batch 1, and I'm still having fun today.
That's
2
right.
years later.
Greg, you started, let's see, with an idea. You didn't even know, it wasn't fully baked.
Right.
Now you have 2 contracts one with the Air Force, one with the Navy, private institutions, also in ed tech. Geez Louise, and that's only been what, 2 years, 2.5?
Yeah, I mean, in less than 2 years, with the help of Stitch Crew, this company has grown immensely. I went from not even really having a logo and not even really hardly having a name. Like I created the name Occupath just to apply for the batch for the accelerator, and I created it like I didn't have a whole lot of time to create it, and I didn't have everything fleshed out like I wanted to. So I'm very fortunate that you guys took a chance on me, and you literally have changed my life. I mean, it's a cliche that a lot of people use, but I wouldn't have not even a portion of the success that this company has without the help of Stitch Crew. All 3 of you guys and all the mentors in the program, the people in my cohort supporting me, like I owe it all to you guys. And had it not been for this accelerator, I wouldn't even be on the bench. Like I'm in the game now, but had it not been for the accelerator, I wouldn't even be on the bench. I'd be at home watching the game, wishing I was playing.
I missed your metaphors.
Right.
You're making us feel really good about ourselves right now, Greg. But I will also be the first one to say that's not true. You've earned every bit of your success. You're an amazing founder, dedicated. You're a great person. You're funny as hell. Too much, because then we just start talking to Greg, and then we stop working because we love you so much.
Well, the feeling is mutual, and for those of you, if there's people watching that don't know about Occupath, I'd like to give my Twitter pitch if it's a good time. Occupath is an ed tech company that provides workplace training for employers using a mixture of virtual reality and learning theory to empower learners, to empower trainees. So we're all about virtual reality.
Chris, you've been working with Greg very much so. What questions do you have for him?
There's a lot of things but everything I could say right now, I've already asked Greg. So I will say this though. Here's something that a lot of people won't know about Greg. Greg has a list. I don't know how many are on it. If I'm going to guess, I'd say there's probably 100 different ideas for startups and companies. So Greg's an idea guy. So Greg, what if you're going to guess, how many different ideas do you have on your I should do this list, and how often do you add to that list?
Man, I add to this list about every day. I would say this is I don't know if you can see that on the camera there, but this is my cell phone and this app is Evernote. And yeah, every time I think of an idea, whether it's a food related idea or some sort of software idea, some sort of gadget, I always write it down. And like if I just pick something random on this list, I'm gonna see if I can't find anything interesting. Okay. Chicken fried steak pancake. It's a pancake and a chicken fried steak mixed together. Why did I put that? I was probably 2:00 in the morning. No one would ever buy a pancake that tastes like a chicken fried steak, but that's what I put there. It's supposed to be for Oklahoma tourism. But yeah, I mean, it's what the interesting takeaway from what you're mentioning, though, that I think other people can get from this is that, you know, there's lots of ideas and you're going to have times where, you know, you start going down the rabbit hole because of an idea, but really you got to think of ideas as, you know, things that don't have a lot of weight. Like they're very important, but what matters more, and this is something I learned from the accelerator, this is something I learned specifically from Chris, is execution. What matters more is execution. And which is why, I mean, I'm very blessed to be in this accelerator because, you know, for years I was chasing ideas and just spinning my wheels. And the accelerator helped me to learn how to execute on those ideas. And, you know, there's people in this city, in this state, in this part of the world who would give anything for a chance to be able to talk to you guys on a daily basis as much as I do. So I feel very fortunate, and I've definitely benefited from it a lot.
Thank you, Greg. We consider ourselves super lucky to have had the pleasure of working with you, and we still work with you. We still get to know what you're doing and keep hustling. You're doing great. You're having a lot of success. You're helping a lot of people. So we just enjoy your journey. Gabby, what fun questions do you have for Greg?
I don't even know where to start. There's so many I could ask. But I will go with, what is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, well, you know, Chris and I have something in common, that we both like Elvis, and it's interesting that we had that in common before we even met. So, you know, Elvis is you always got to go with Elvis songs in karaoke. They're easy to sing, right? They're in the right key, in the right register. So I do a lot of Elvis. I like to do Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. But yeah, I love karaoke. I remember one time we had a Christmas karaoke with some of the people in our batch and other batches, and that was so much fun when we had that karaoke. So hopefully we could do that again one day. And if not, maybe we could even do a virtual karaoke too. That would be good. I love karaoke.
Let's do a fundraiser, an Elvis karaoke off between me and Greg.
There you go.
Do you actually want people to donate and give money?
We don't stop singing until they reach a certain amount. You see, that's what it is.
That's true.
If you want us to shut up.
On your previous question, Tabitha said, if vegans can turn jackfruit into chicken, you can turn chicken into a pancake. So,
very good. That's true. That's true.
And then we also have Noel Figueroa, who says, Greg is awesome. He carries his passion and fun personality everywhere he goes, and we agree with that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes, I actually know Noel. She was the pre-K teacher of my son, my 8-year-old son at John Rex Elementary, and I used to work with her dad too at Santa Fe South. I was one of his 6th grade teachers. So shout out to her. It's awesome to see her.
So Greg, what is your message for the founders in this cohort and for investors or people in the community that are looking into their pitch videos tonight?
Yeah. So, you know, the best advice I think I could give you is number one, I mean, obviously, you know, use Stitch Crew as a resource as much as you can. I mean, I already mentioned how grateful I am to them. I think another piece of advice that I could give you is that, you know, if it were easy, anybody would do it. Everybody would be doing it. And so it's not meant to be easy. And some of the best things in life require time, require lots of hard work. So yeah, you're going to feel like giving up at times. I mean, I know I've felt like that in the past when this first all got started. I told my wife, just give me a few months of me not earning any money, and you know, us eating beans and tortillas every day to try to save money. Like, um, it's going to take time, and it did take time. And so it's going to pay off for you too if you're out there and you feel like you're struggling sometimes. But just remember, the hard work is like an investment as well. The time that you're putting in, the energy that you're putting in is going to pay off. And it will pay off because now it's starting to pay off for Occupath. I mean, my kid the other day said, "Daddy, are we rich now?" I said, "Yes, we're rich. Hell yeah, look at all this toilet paper we've got. We're super rich. We're
Did
making
you have
money."
that ready to go, Greg?
Yes, of course I had it ready to go.
No more lettuce, Greg.
Right? I don't have to read. But anyway, we're very blessed. Especially right nowadays in this economy, Occupath didn't even stop. I mean, we kept our work up, and so yeah, I mean, it's a big blessing. But there was a lot of hard work and a lot of long hours up to that. I mean, for example, you mentioned that big contract that we have with the Air Force right now, our biggest contract. We wouldn't have gotten that contract unless we had Stitch Crew helping us to get to this point. And then Chris and I spent many hours writing a 20-page proposal that almost killed us, but it all paid off.
It did for sure.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, buddy. Farhash says he's your number one fan here, and he misses the dad jokes and working at the launch pad. So
I was the number one fan. Farhash.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Greg.
Thanks,
Thank
Greg.
you for all you're doing for our community. See you later.
Gabby, next.
All right, let's see. So next we have another Batch 5 founder or co-founders, I believe, with round 2.
Round 2. We have 2 founders, actually. We had Dylan and Brian.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
How we doing?
Hey, guys.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good. Welcome.
So what's
Where
the
are you
format
joining?
for this?
What's the format?
There's nothing. So Brian's down in Atlanta. I'm in New York City.
Good, good,
All right.
good. Thank you for joining us. So why don't you give us your Twitter pitch? Who wants to
Thank
do
you
it?
for having us.
Awesome. We've been giving it a lot this week because we've been in all these really awesome, before we give the pitch, virtual demo days. We had really high hopes for Stitch Crew, and they were blown away. So we are super impressed with what has transpired. So now that we got that out of the way, Dylan and my co-founder here, Brian, and we have a platform called Round 2 that is a marketplace connecting youth athletes to affordable sporting goods. While we launched a year ago as a peer-to-peer mobile app, you could compare it to a Poshmark or an eBay. In the past few months, we've actually tweaked our business model to really take advantage of helping more athletes that play all sports, because we were only servicing baseball players. And now we're doing that by an AI-powered aggregator that is scanning the top retailers and brands, your Dick's, your eBay, your OfferUp, PlayItAgainSports.com, what have you, and centralizing them all on Round 2 and helping that youth athlete find the best gear for them, whether it's new or used, at the best value. We're really excited to relaunch, so to speak, on the web June 7th, and we're going to have 30 more sports, and it's going to be really exciting. Brian and I have been, just working tirelessly, so it's all coming to pay off.
How did you guys come up with the idea?
So we were actually out. It was a day before I came to Oklahoma City. We were out in San Francisco, and we were pitching some other investors, and of course, Round 2 had already been a thing from last year. But this updated approach, we were just walking back from a pitch, and we were like, there has to be a way where we don't spend the next year just focusing on one more sport or 2 more sports. There has to be a way where we can growth hack and scale to the masses. And Brian was like, dude, it would be really clutch if we were almost like Google for the athletes. And all of a sudden, just from that, it started to click. We talked about it for like 3 or 5 hours, started to play around. and we got right to work. Like, we didn't even sit on it. We literally got right to work. And Brian started surveying our users by the thousands, surveying the leagues and the coaches that had previously utilized round 2, and they all loved it. They were like, whatever you guys do, we're behind you, basically. So we were like, okay, so this is what we're gonna do. So that's kind of how it retook off.
And Brian, Dylan, you guys are actually have a lot of traction. You are, I'm not going to get your metrics right because, excuse me, but it's Thursday and it's demo day. But you've raised significant capital.
Understandable.
You've raised several. You've reached in the thousands in terms of monthly recurring revenue. You have a lot of users in your platform. So tell us about that. I mean, how rewarding is that? You've gotten a lot of traction just in the last few months. How does that feel?
You know, it was scary
for
right?
us.
Like, yeah, go for it, Brian. Go for it.
I don't know how delayed you are. So yeah, for us, I mean, like, I think the one thing that me and Dylan have is we just have so much passion for this, passion for sports. And it really shows in the different areas of our business. And that comes from just even the foundation of content creation and coming up with new ideas and new ways that we can grow organically. And, you know, it never seems like a tedious task for us. We always enjoy sharing ideas and coming up with new strategies of how we can grow and how we can reach a wider audience. And when we came to the decision to turn to the meta search and expand into other sports, it just made it that much gratifying and easier for us to be like, oh, we can just do this for a lot of different areas in sports, right? And it doesn't have to be solely focused on baseball. So, I mean, if anything, it just got us more excited, and you know, it's paid off. I mean, me and Dylan work, like he was saying, tirelessly each day, and coming up with new ideas. And you know, if something's not working, how can we come up with another trial to figure out, you know, the problem there? So a lot of A/B testing, but we, like I said, we love it. We don't really see it as work. We just see it as us doing like our normal day to day and just having fun doing it.
That's what's important, right? You have to have fun at whatever it is that you're doing.
Gotta have fun. Anything you do.
Paul says, love the search engine for sport equipment pieces.
Brian, Farhaj loves your fade. Who's your barber? Why don't you tell him?
And that fade's clean.
I got a hookup in Atlanta. If you want to get like a little preview, got a hookup in Atlanta. He's been cutting my hair for a couple of years now.
That's not one of those quarantine.
I can definitely send out a recommendation.
No, he
Atlanta,
can.
I got you.
Brian can. He actually had been doing his own hair and his brother-in-law's haircut during quarantine, and some of these haircuts on these calls were fresh. Farhad, he can do it. He can do his own fade.
I got a lot of respect.
I learned. You got to. I mean, like the YouTube is a great tool, right? I mean, it's like its own educational tool.
Yeah,
as much as you can while we're quarantining. Guys, what do you want to say to people? We had over 400 people tune in earlier to the Amy and live stream, and people that are looking into RSVP to look at your video pitches. So what would you say to them?
I've watched every single pitch now, probably 5 times. I know Brian has too. All the companies are incredible. We've been through one other accelerator, one other incubator. We've watched hundreds of pitches, probably actually closer to 1,000. Some of the pitches that you're seeing today are the best that we've ever seen. Not round 2, but some of the other, you know, we're joined by, you know, we're up there, but we're okay. But we're joined by Relativity 6, amazing company, StreamSum, amazing, you know, amazing software, Quest to Learn. I can't wait to watch these companies, Draft Badge, right? Socialwise, Grow, Found. I love them all. And you guys should really make sure you watch every single pitch because all the companies are phenomenal. That's what I would say to all of them.
Thank you. We agree. All of them are super special, and you can watch everybody's pitches again on demodaystitchcrew.com. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We can't leave. Gabby's questions are the most fun. So what's your question, Gabs?
About the phone. Okay,
Perfect.
if you could play any character in any movie, who would you play?
Wow. Are we both going to answer?
Yes, separate.
Any character in any movie?
Yes.
Oof.
You want to take the lead on this first?
Okay. Or you go for it, Brian. I have no idea.
Brian, if you don't pick, I'm going to pick one for you. So you
in
have
a dark way, but I was thinking. I mean, initial thought was John Wick. I think John Wick's just so cool. I mean, even though it's very gruesome, I just feel like he's, the guy's unstoppable, and he's got an awesome dog, awesome car.
That's a good one.
A good
Keanu
one.
Reeves is a legend. You can't.
That's a really good one. I always wanted to, before I was in tech, I always wanted to be in a famous rock and roll band, and this is a throwback. Playing Jack Black's character from the School of Rock seems like it would be so fun. You're just like rocking out with a bunch of kids and you're supposed to be teaching them. Like, it seems like it'd be amazing. Yeah, and Jack Black's a legend. So
yeah, they're probably a teacher as well. So partially are impersonating a teacher.
Yep,
That's right.
That's a good question. Thanks, Gabby.
Well, thank you guys so much for
Thanks,
joining us. Stay safe in New York and in Atlanta. We can't wait to bring you to Oklahoma soon and celebrate together and watch your journey as you continue to grow. So thank you so much.
Likewise.
It's been fun working with you guys.
Bye, guys.
You guys.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Definitely want to be in touch.
See you, Brian.
All right, Gabby, is it Stream Some that's next?
No, we actually have Cody with Social Wise next.
Oh, Cody.
Get ahead of yourself.
Hey,
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Hey.
good. Thank you. How's it going with you?
It's going great. I've loved all the live events today. It was great seeing or hearing from Amy and Brian again about all the great work with the Thunder, and it's been cool seeing all the videos and work that all the founders have put into Demo Day and all of the great work that you guys have put into the program finally coming together. And then all the hard work that the mentors put in, it's like, maybe it's because you guys are so awesome, but the mentors all seem like they wanted to reciprocate that and do anything that they could to help us out over the course of this journey. And the fact that we weren't able to do it in person, like you guys usually hold it, I feel like everybody has adapted really well, and it's been a very fruitful program for all involved, and our various initiatives to make the startup community better in Oklahoma, but also make the state better.
Thank you. Thank you, Cody. And what you're doing, it's going to help us and lots of other places better as well. Why don't you give us your Twitter pitch?
Sure. So SocialWise is a mobile app that helps governments and donors pay unemployed people to perform public benefit work. So, the original vision for the application is, hey, eviction is a very expensive, nasty problem. When someone falls into homelessness, when families slip through the cracks, it starts costing taxpayers a whole lot more money than it would be if we addressed it on the front end. So, eviction, the median eviction occurs for $686, and the vast majority occur for less than $1,000 of unpaid rent. Yet when someone loses housing and they become homeless, then the cost shoots up to $40,000 a year. So it's, from a capital efficiency standpoint, it's absolute madness, as Mr. Wonderful would say. Stop the madness. And that's what I'm trying to do. But now that coronavirus has struck, it's dramatically increased the number of individuals who are experiencing loss of income. A lot of people, total unemployment, few job prospects to get back on their feet. And, a lot of the moratoriums on eviction around the country, including Oklahoma, are going to be lapsing. And so we've got a pants on fire problem that we need to come together from the government side, from the foundation side, from the community side, to work together to put all of these affected parties back to work doing something good in the community so that we can keep them housed.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, we appreciate what you're doing. It's such an important work. It's helping people do everything that you just said. And so we're all rooting for you, buddy. And it's been a pleasure working with you, for sure.
Thank you so much.
Chris, what questions do you have?
Cody, what you and I have talked a little bit over the past 12 weeks, and you've overcome a lot of challenges. What's been the biggest challenge so far for you in this endeavor?
Yeah, so I would say the biggest challenges with government tech ventures or social impact ventures in general, the truism kind of applies to both. It's really hard to get it off the ground. It's hard to get people to understand the full expanse of the vision, and then to be able to also understand, okay, well, I see where you want to take it at 10,000 feet, but like, how can we do business today? How can we make this happen? And so for me, it's a little bit tricky because there's three key stakeholders, right? There's workers. I need the nonprofits to post gigs, so community gardens, soup kitchens, beach cleanup nonprofits, Habitat for Humanity. I need their buy-in, but far and away, the biggest challenge has been convincing foundations to contribute money to wage banks and also government buy-in. And so I've had a lot of encouraging conversations, but foundations and particularly government aren't organizations that usually make decisions quickly. And, with the government, I mean, even after the legislators only open for a certain period of time, and then even if something gets passed, it doesn't get funded immediately. So it's challenging getting a startup off the ground in this space. But the allure is what happens after you have a model that's proven, that works, and you do have substantive pilots, and you do show that local governments are able to save money while also making a huge humanitarian contribution to the community. And also, improving nutrition programs, improving the environment, creating all kinds of good. And so for me, it's been about trying to build on small victories. I recently won a micro grant from the Type Rose Foundation in Tulsa. And so now I'm excited that we're paying some displaced workers to sew masks that we're going to deliver to the health department. And then my next step up from there is I'm a semifinalist for $150,000 workforce innovation grant from the Workers Lab. And so if I could get their backing, it's in San Francisco, they're backed by the Omidyar Network, a lot of major players in the impact space. I feel like that's the scale of the bona fide pilot that will provide the data that will allow me to walk into any government, to any foundation and say, all right, guys, sign up. You're saving money and you're also creating a lot of benefit in your community.
Well, keep doing what you're doing because it's super important. It does take time, and some organizations are a little bit, like you said, take a little bit longer to adapt. But you keep doing what you're doing, and it's going to pay off. And I know that there's already some foundations that are excited to meet with you in the coming days. So just keep at it, buddy. What is your question?
My question? All right. So if you were a superhero, what would your superhero power and name be?
Oh, what would my superpower be? Okay, so my answer to the question you asked Dylan and Brian first would be catch me if you can. But to my question, and Frank Abagnale lives in Tulsa. So, okay. So your question to me, say it again.
What is your superhero power and name?
Superhero power and name. Okay. Name is going to be Codini, and I'm going to be a magician. I've got the magic, and I'm magically going to help society change how they allocate resources so that we can pay good people to do good work.
Yes.
I like it.
Nice.
That's right. That's
And
right.
then where can people find you? What platforms are you on, Cody?
Yeah, so socialize.com. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn, Facebook as well, Twitter, and beyond that, we're soon going to expand into all other platforms, but that's where we're most active today.
Nice. And just so you know, Leah, your peer, says helping save the world. So you have lots of fans. Keep at it. Thank you so much for joining us, Cody. It's been a pleasure working with you, and we can't wait to follow your journey and continue to support you in any way that we can.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. I've enjoyed all the wonderful learnings and effort and love that you've put in this program, and I strongly encourage your supporters, your financial supporters of Stitch Crew. You guys got an amazing return on investment. This is the central hub of innovation in the state of Oklahoma, and I'm so grateful for all the other people out there like me who have a big heart, who really care about creating innovation in the world. There's a network in Oklahoma that they can get connected with that will foster that and will put them in touch with the people that can make their dreams come true.
So much, Cody. We really appreciate you.
Okay, have a good one.
Take care. We have to tell people that we did not pay anyone to say nice things about us today.
Great Codini.
Yeah. Magician. I never thought that would be a superpower, but I can see.
Why don't you estimate what their villain power would be in their villain name? Why do you discriminate?
Chris, what would your villain power be?
Let me think on that. I wasn't prepared. I'm not prepared.
Whenever you order Coke, you get Pepsi instead, or any other drink that you don't want.
See, everybody thinks that Gabby is the sweet one of the crew, but on the inside, she's the meanest one in the crew. All right, so who's next, Gabby? We have just a couple.
Before we go on to the next one, I didn't ask round to their social platforms, but you can find them on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all of them. But we do have another Batch 5 founder, and we have Ashton with Weather Deep.
What up, Ashton?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Good doc.
Say it again.
How's it going?
Oh, busy, but good.
How's it feel to just put your video out there for everyone to see and be done with it and not have to worry about us nagging you?
Well, it feels good. I'm eager to see what the responses are. I've already gotten some feedback on the video, so yeah, I'm happy to get the word out there that Weather Deep exists and that we're here to help companies and agencies, federal agencies, prepare for extreme weather events.
Yeah. You have to be one of the smartest people we've come across with. You just know so much. It's hard to follow sometimes because you just know so much about weather, technology, APIs, integrations. I mean, you name it. We're super proud of you. We think you're going to be extremely helpful as people try to forecast weather. One of the questions that we always asked, either from investors or people that wanted to get to know you during the program, was, well, how is Weather Deep different than your forecast that you currently get? So why don't you tell us your Twitter pitch, but then also how are you different from what people currently use?
Right. Well, Weather Deep is a groundbreaking software platform for extending predictability of weather hazards into the weekly, monthly, and seasonal timeframes. And the seasonal tornado forecast problem hasn't really been explored extensively, and some of the solutions that people have come up with haven't been very robust. So my model actually, has actually developed a tool that be able to forecast that information and get the information out in a way that insurers and other users might be able to use it.
And you recently got awarded a contract with the Department of Defense.
Yes. Yes.
How?
I completed it in 2018. It was a phase 1 grant to basically perform some customer discovery to see how the Air Force could use my products.
Well, tell us how can they? I mean, why are they interested in weather forecasting?
Well, one of the things I found out was that in advance of Hurricane Michael, they had some trouble evacuating their fleet of F-22 fighter jets. And there were some other agencies that were impacted also. The Coast Guard lost a few cutters. The Navy had some damage. My forecast and my more recent development has actually shown predictability of landfalls from storms like Michael with 40 to 45 days of lead time. So that's plenty of time, more time than the normal 3 to 5 days of lead time in advance of a big storm impacting a region. So they can use that information to make plans for disaster recovery, develop those plans for missions, potentially for combat, in other parts of the world, and also for evacuating these expensive assets out there to reduce the risk to the Air Force.
That's incredible. I mean, it's just when we talk to you and we learn more about what you're building and how it could be beneficial, not just to the Department of Defense, but like you said, the insurance industry, and more importantly, I think the value that it has for rural communities and industries like agriculture and renewable energy to be able to do that. And we always tell, so our answer, because we're not as smart as you are, it's always, well, he can predict it in months in advance and give you a hell of a lot more information than just whether it's going to be sunny or cloudy on a 7 to 10 day forecast. So we're just incredibly proud and impressed with your work. Just for anybody that's watching, that's an investor or it's looking into WeatherDeep, just the progress that you've made in the last 3 months. You've integrated APIs. You've launched a SaaS model to where people can actually subscribe and access all of this data. You've closed contracts with, you're talking to utility companies, which weren't necessarily at the beginning part of your pipeline. So we're super proud of you and all the progress that you've made and all the hustle that you've done. So thank you for giving us that opportunity. And I'm going to turn it over to Gabby and Chris because I'll just keep bragging about you all night long.
So I was going to ask Ashton what it's like being smarter than 99% of the people he comes in contact with. You already covered that, Eric, and he's smarter than everybody else. So I'm gonna personalize it a little bit, Ashton. What at the end of a long day, you've had it, whether you're at home or you're getting in your car, what's your go-to music choice when you just got to let it all hang out?
Oh goodness, it ranges from gospel to hip hop, even country. I didn't like country before I moved to Oklahoma, but now it's kind of in the ambiance, so I got to adapt and do what the Romans do. But I'll listen to Todd Tribbett. I like Pitbull. Sometimes I like the hip hop, that beat that move you, that sort of thing. Some of that music's good for coding too, like because I'm a programmer and developer in addition to all this, and so I'll put some music on and just kind of do like this. It's fun.
That's awesome.
I do want to say that we have a comment from Harold saying that's wild. WeatherDeep can predict landfall of storms 45 days out. It's incredible. Before we go to, I want to say, because I never get them right too, you've also been awarded some kind of a big prestige award medal. What is it and who awarded it to you?
So my colleagues at OU recognized my work and my dissertation work for a dissertation medal from the American Association of State Climatologists. So yeah, I got that award probably about a couple of years ago, and they allowed me to present my work and all of that. It was pretty fun.
You know what I'm just thinking now, Ash? You should have sold WeatherDeep, freaking SpaceX, and NASA, and you could have helped them avoid yesterday's fiasco. I mean,
so I will say this: I'm not really focused on precipitation just yet. So that's one of the things that I'm working on a little bit later in time. We'll expand predictability with that as time goes on. But right now, the biggest focus for my platform is hail and tornadoes, and then also the tropical storm landfalls. And none of those really impacted Florida. At least that's what my models were predicting for the for the month. So,
but the models were predicting. See,
yes,
that's my point. That's my point. Well, Ashton, it's just a pleasure. I'm going to turn it. Gabby, what fun questions do you have for Ashton?
All right, in this quarantine time, if you could travel, excuse me, if you could travel to any fictional place, where would you go?
oh goodness, a fictional place. Anywhere with warmth and pretty water. Not to go swim in, just to put my feet in, because I'm not a big swimmer, you know, because I know there's sharks and jellyfish and all that stuff out there. But I just want to go and just relax, have a pina colada or a sweet tea or something, and just decompress. That would be my utopia.
What's your quarantine drink, Ashton?
My quarantine drink is tea, half sweet and half unsweet. And the sweetener either has to be like the real sugar that you brew in with the tea, don't add it after, or the sweet and low. The sweet and low. So that's been my go-to drink, and you know that's my drink that I sip on when I'm focused and doing this all the time. So
nice. Well, tell us what you want everyone that's watching to know, that's checking out by the way, your full demo day again is available at demodaystitchcrew.com. What do you want them to know? What's your ask?
Well, right now I'm just seeking subscribers, new subscribers, preferably from companies. I'm a little bit selective on who I give subscriptions to for a number of reasons. My products really are brand new, and I'd have to have a social scientist to actually help me convey and demo the information for the general public. So we'll work on those types of products in the coming months. But right now there's subscriptions available. I'll be forecasting tropical cyclones starting in early June. I'll start that process back up for the early warning system that I implemented last year, which had quite a bit of success with Nestor and also Imelda and a few other storms. And then back testing that, there's also been a few other storms that I've been able to back predict. So yeah, I'm available. I'm also WeatherDeep's models are very customizable. So if you have unique business problems that are weather sensitive, I can potentially help. So reach out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, Ashton. Thank you for getting your pitch video submitted and for all the hard work that you've been putting in this last 3 months. It's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you. And I appreciate what you guys are doing with Stitch Crew. Again, I'm a meteorologist first, and I've learned the business on the side as I've gone along, and you guys have been tremendous. I really appreciate it. I even dedicated a blog post to put on my homepage just to make sure that I knew that you guys were appreciated. Seriously. Thank you.
Thank you. And how can we find you? I beat you to it, Gabby.
So my homepage is wx-deep.com. You can also go to weatherdeep.com and it will redirect you to my homepage. I'm also on LinkedIn and Twitter. You can just search for WeatherDeep. You can find me. I'm not hard to find. You can also search for Ashton Robinson Cook as well, because I post a lot of updates for WeatherDeep there as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, buddy. It's been a pleasure working with you, and can't wait to see where you go. My dog is going crazy, in case you could see her in the back. But thank you so much, Ashton.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Bye. We have 2 more, right?
2 more. So next up, she was our entrepreneur in residence this time around. So we have Hannah.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi, Hannah.
Nice to see you.
It's great to see you guys too.
Hannah, you were our entrepreneur in residence, working super hard on something that's dear to all of our hearts. So why don't you give us your Twitter pitch?
Okay. Hello, my name is Hannah Dahlman, founder of Reading Aloud OKC. It's a web-based app designed to benefit families affected by incarceration through recording and uploading bedtime stories into a video library while also aggregating information into an accessible resource hub.
Nice.
Anna's been working on that. I can tell.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Hannah, why the passion of this specific population or group of people and the passion for reading?
So my parents are really big into reading, and my whole childhood was filled with bedtime stories. I come from a family of educators, and I actually just completed my 2 years with Teach for America in Oklahoma City, and I came to Oklahoma because it had the highest need. And so after my 2 years in the Corps, I participated and won the second annual education innovation competition that they held, where I presented this idea. And it was because where I taught, I've been watching the feed, and Greg from earlier mentioned Santa Fe South, which is so exciting because that's where I taught. And my kids were directly affected by incarceration, their families being incarcerated, and it's a very important time, elementary school, with their socio-emotional health, their literacy, and just the whole generational cycle is just immensely impactful. And this is something that really helped me, and it really helped the kids that I taught. And so being able to create a platform that can connect them to their families, as well as having access to the resources that Oklahoma City does have, because we're blessed with so many nonprofits and organizations, but it's just connecting those dots is just really important.
Absolutely. And Hannah, you decided not to pitch this time around because you're still working on the website and getting the resources together and the right coordination, like you mentioned, with the right partners. But we are going to be working with you as you continue to move that forward, because we believe that what you're doing is so important, particularly in a state where incarceration is one of the highest rates, right, in the world, not just in the States. So
yeah. And it's interesting that it directly contrasts with the lowest literacy rates for both children and adults.
100%. 100%. And we can't wait to, even though, you're not pitching, we are going to be connecting you with some of the foundations that are doing a lot of work in the criminal justice reform side of things, and other groups that are really interested in supporting your work and what you're doing. So
thank you.
Hannah, just one more question for me, and then I'll turn it over to Chris. What's been the biggest barrier, the biggest challenge?
There's many challenges, but just the learning curve is very high. For me personally, I don't have any experience in entrepreneurship, so being able to take an idea that you have in your head and be able to convey it to someone is just has been one of the hardest things, by creating, the mission and the vision, and being able to create traction with that. And so what my next biggest step is being able to work with other people and being able to find those key partners that would allow for this idea to become a reality in that way.
Yeah, 100%. Chris,
Hannah, yeah, I just so proud to see what Hannah's doing, and she's just been probably just one of the bigger that we've had over the 12 weeks with the craziness that's been going on. But hey, you're doing this all really on your own, and it's a ton, right? You just alluded to that. Any interest or ideas on maybe bringing in a co-founder? Interest in that right now, or is that something you want to hold off for a while?
Yeah, I'm always looking to partner with people. I just haven't found the right fit yet. And it's also very difficult in this time of, everyone's lives are changing based on the everything going on. And so being able to find someone with a passion for it is just, I know I'm going to find them. And so it's just a matter of being able to find that person. So yes.
Yeah, you will. It's gonna be fun to keep tabs with you, and I think your days of working with Stitch Crew are just getting started anyway. So it's
for sure.
Gabby, what do you have for Hannah?
All right, since we're talking about books and literacy, if you could have a dinner party with one fictional character, who would you invite?
Oh. I don't know. It's so funny. I just rearranged all my bookshelves. So,
Does it have to be fictional?
yeah, because I read a lot of biographies as well. So,
Okay. Yeah. Any literary character. Person.
Well, I really, I would say that one of my favorite ones from my childhood was Anne of Green Gables, and so maybe her, just because she's I'm back at my actual childhood home, so like that would be kind of cool. But anyone really.
It's a good answer.
But
Works.
Hannah, we're super proud of you. We want to continue, like Chris said, this is the beginning, and we're super excited to see you continue to build this company and make introductions where we can. What you're doing is so needed, not just in Oklahoma, but throughout. And so we're completely dedicated to seeing how we can help you.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's been an honor to be included, and I look forward to working with you in the future as well.
Hannah, where can we find you?
Oh, well, I personally have a LinkedIn, and then Reading Aloud OKC has a Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter currently.
Nice. And just so you know, Hannah, Jessica Leatherberry says, "Great choice, Hannah, on your choice for character."
Oh, thanks.
Thank you so much, Hannah.
Thank you.
Bye, Hannah.
Bye.
Guys, we're coming up to a close right on time too, and we're going to close strong. Gabby, we have Stream Some.
Yes.
Talking about streaming and stuff. Please, Adam, do not judge us on our first live stream.
I won't.
Have you been taking notes, Adam?
No.
Okay, good.
Adam, why don't you give us your Twitter pitch and tell everyone why this is so relevant?
Okay. So StreamSum is an analytics company indexing all live stream data globally across video platforms, kind of like Google indexes information on websites. We're building a data intelligence platform for teams, brands, and media properties. And we're specifically starting with the measurement of sponsorship valuation. Now, there are tons of other opportunities past that, which are already on our roadmap, but we're starting there. And why is it important? Because everything happens on live stream today. From esports events to events like this, professional sports, any type of culture, if you are into Fortnite and music, concerts that are now happening in game, everything is happening on live stream. So it's a huge opportunity to really get in on that ground floor in terms of video platforms and looking at those analytics. And the other interesting thing about it is, this would be considered like a long form content video, but there are also short form content videos like a TikTok or an Instagram Live even. And so there are variations within this industry itself, but you're seeing sponsorships probably take the most relevance at this point in time. But then when we get at scale, you look at competitive intelligence and also discovering opportunities to arbitrage opportunities for undervalued attention. So right now, all of these brands are going to the top streamers. They're paying a mint for these sponsorships and the product placements and the banners on these overlays and even verbal shout outs. But there are tons of opportunities looking at that undervalued attention to get the same impact. So that's kind of what we're doing.
No, that's great. And we actually intentionally not put any of our sponsors on this because we're like, no, they're going to go to Adam and say, tell me who got more mentions and all of that. So we decided not to measure that on our own. And you have a great big idea, right? And for anybody that's watching, you really have to look at the full pitch to really understand where you're taking StreamSum and where you see the future of live streaming going, and how people can benefit not only through, like you said, sponsorships, but also through the data, right? That you're going to be able to see and collect. So thank you for that. Chris, what questions do you have?
I heard something today from Amy Brooks during her keynote talk that really kind of blew my mind, and I'm sure, Adam, if you picked up on it, your mouth probably started to drool. Only 1% of NBA fans ever get to experience a game like live in the stadium. So, what an opportunity for you guys! Is that? I mean, I think I'm answering my own question, but that's where things are going, right? I mean, what does that look like for you guys, and maybe in particular with the esports side? That's the future, right? I mean, I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, so you have everyone pretty much moving away from linear TV to live stream platforms. So I don't have cable. I can watch the news, I can watch a sports game, I can watch anything from a URL. It doesn't have to be from my computer or mobile phone. It can actually be from my TV. So it's extremely important in that shift in the culture that's really happening for that. So yeah, just in general, that's where everything's moving.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of data if you want to go back it up of this cultural shift and this market shift. And basically these sponsors and other organizations are looking at it saying, where are the eyeballs? Well, if they can't be in venue, they're going to be on some type of stream. And how we have to measure that, we have to really validate that, and how do we find opportunities to even do that? And going on that point, when we spoke with the Oklahoma City Thunder, they specifically said, hey, we would love to understand if we need to move a sign to a different location because it actually gets more screen time. We don't actually know. And this isn't just the NBA. This is everything out there, not even pro sports. So this is what we're trying to solve. This is where we really see the opportunity. So we're definitely excited about it.
Yeah, you guys were very forward thinking. Prior to the virus, were you meeting resistance, maybe an old school mentality, and now that this is happening, are you starting to see people come around and say, okay, we get it. Now we see what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, so it's very interesting when you talk to different teams, whether they're professional teams or esports teams, even that are doing stuff in large venues. A lot of them were not doing stuff online. They weren't live streaming. They weren't doing short form content, even on some of their Instagram or TikTok, to really capitalize on this.
No.
But that shift actually started happening prior to COVID. COVID was really just the fire on top of it that said, oh, we really have to get into the 21st century.
And of course, I have to say this. So as we were talking about this, Leah, your peer, one of the co-founders from Found Experience, tweeted at us saying, StreamSum and Found collaboration or collab. And of course, being the live streaming company that StreamSum is, immediately responded and said, always down for collaboration. So
absolutely.
We love to see startups working with other startups. No, listen, we see it too, right? We even with Demo Day, we've had these conversations with the founders. We were concerned at first, whether we were going to get the same excitement. And we were just talking earlier about how we've actually had twice as much people RSVP to look at the founder videos at their comfort of their own home when they're able to do it. And it just seemed more real to have these type of conversations, even with this live stream, right? People can come and go, and we realize it's not steady, but it's definitely where the shift that we're seeing as well, not just in sports, but throughout industries. So
absolutely.
So excited to be working with you, and excited to see what the future holds for you guys. What, for anybody that's listening, what's your ask? What do you want them to know?
So we are going to be fundraising So I would say if you're an investor, definitely go to the website, reach out to us. I'd love to have a call with you and go over in more detail. If you are a brand, agency, team, whether a professional team or esports, or anything that has to do with sponsorship measurement or competitive intelligence, please reach out. We are looking for pilots right now. We have a few in the pipeline, but we want to consistently have this conversation. And I'm a very product-led guy, very customer-focused. So I'm looking to build what you're asking and add it onto our roadmap.
I love that. Love that. And Startup Grind from Tulsa, who had their Startup Grind earlier today, just joined us and said, cool stuff. Thanks for putting together a live stream so we can hear about these great startups in Oklahoma. So Adam, it's been a pleasure, absolute pleasure working with you and Dom. You guys are super smart. You're always on top of things. I feel like you actually kept us on track. Hey, where are we on this? What else do we need to do? Who else can we contact? I'll brag about you guys a little bit in that before we even asked, you had already researched our network or some of our network. And one of the first things that you and Dom did was send us an email with, okay, these are all the people that we want to meet, and this is why. And we actually love that because it made our job a lot easier. You were always also, you schedule office hours with us every Friday at the same time, had everything together, and we just love the execution and the attention to detail. So thank you. It's been a pleasure working with both of you, and we know you have big roads ahead of you. So can't wait to watch it all.
Yeah, well, I'm a very operational guy. I wasn't in the military, but sometimes I feel like it. But absolutely, it's been a pleasure, and I've had a lot of fun, and you guys have really. Similar to what Sam and Farhaj and some of the other founders have said that have been through multiple accelerators like I have, you guys have really topped that bar to the highest and I couldn't ask for more. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys. We can't wait to introduce you guys to a lot of people so that you guys can make it big. And then, like we tell all the founders, the first exit, the first IPO, or even if you don't exit and you don't IPO, but a big win that you have, we will all go and travel and celebrate together. I
did say I would take you guys to Fiji.
You did. Right. I remember that.
I remember.
We do have that. Gabby, what's the fun question for Adam?
All right, since we're talking about technology, if you had to delete all but 3 apps on your phone, what 3 apps would you keep?
What 3 apps would I keep? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Let me get my phone. I should know this. Okay. All right. Text message, because I'm not. Yeah, text message on the default app, Slack, and Twitter.
Tinder didn't cut. Surprised.
What are the first 3 that you would get rid of right away?
Oh, email. Mm-hmm. Can I do like email but times 3?
That's fair. Adam, any last minute, because you're our last guest today. It's been fun. You probably would criticize us because it's too long of a content, but we just wanted to chat with everybody and celebrate startups and celebrate Demo Day. But since you're closing us, what is your one message you have either for peer founders or investors in the community in general about startups?
Ooh, that's a great question. I actually posted something on Twitter the other day, and now I'm trying to find it so I don't misquote it. I can't find it. But I would say always be curious. I'm a very, very curious person, and I find out a lot of information from people just because I ask questions. You can never ask a dumb question. Dumb people don't ask questions. So that's my advice.
Yeah, I remember that you share that. Curiosity leads to something, but it is a good
that was it.
So how do people find you? Besides our demo day, stitchcrew.com, where can people find you on social media?
So my personal account, Adam is Golden. If you're looking at Twitter, I don't really use Twitter's my main man. When you're talking about StreamSum, streamsum.com. On Facebook, I believe it's StreamSum HQ. On Instagram, it's StreamSum, and pretty much every other social account is either StreamSum or StreamSum HQ.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Adam. Tell Dom we said hi. It's been a pleasure, and we can't wait to continue working with you guys. Welcome to the.
Woo!
Yay. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Well, that's it, guys. We did it. Another demo day in the books.
That was easy.
Any last minute thoughts?
I do want to give a plug to Hannah, our entrepreneur in residence. She does have a GoFundMe account. If you're interested in hearing more, supporting, getting her to that next level, under Real, REAL, OKC. So check her out.
Great, for sure. We'll promote it too
Our
after.
application is live for batch 6.
Yes, thank you, Chris.
Let's do this again.
Yes. We never stop. We're only 1% done. So actually, if you are interested in applying for our next cohort, which will run in the fall, you can go to stitchcrew.com and make sure that you apply batch 6. The application is now open. So, and thank you, Leah, for saying yes. Congrats, Stitch Crew. We're excited. Thank you, everyone who tuned in today. Can't come and go, whatever. We really appreciate all the support. Startup Grind Tulsa says more startups, please. We agree. And with that, we'll close. But before that, let us give you once again, you can check out all the 11 startups that participated in our last cohort at demodaystitchcrew.com. In it, you can also, if you miss Amy Brooks, the president and chief innovation officer, in her speech earlier today, you can actually, we have a link there to the NBA site where we recorded her live stream, so you can watch it again at the comfort of your own home. This Demo Day Stitch Crew website will be live for all throughout the weekend, and so you have plenty of time to check out these companies. Make sure to contact them and schedule an intro with them. Gabby will be making all of those intros. What else did we forget, guys?
I think that's a ton.
That's a ton. That's a ton. We gave you a lot. Thank you for everything that you do. Keep supporting startups and follow Stitch Crew on all social media platforms to
share your thoughts too. Share your thoughts. Hashtag more startups, please. Tag us and the Thunder. We want to hear what you thought.
That's right. Thank you, everyone.
Goodbye.